Everyone wants to be the guy at the top. You close your eyes and you see the vision. You see the car, you see the house, you see the bank account with enough zeros that you'll never have to check the price tag of anything ever again. You imagine yourself walking in a room and everyone knowing your name. You think that once you make it, the stress disappears. You think that the day you hit that financial goal, you can finally sit back, put your feet up, and the world will just be easy. But here's the thing they don't show you on the Instagram Reels. They don't show you the transaction. Success isn't a gift, it's a trade. You don't get success, you buy it. And the currency isn't just hard work. The currency is your time, your peace of mind, your privacy, and the part that hurts the most, your relationships. We grew up thinking that the price of winning was just long hours and late nights. But the older you get and the more you actually start to win, you realize the price is much higher. You realize that you have to trade the normal life you love for a great life that you have to manage. You realize that the view from the top is beautiful, but it's also one of the coldest places on earth. That's why I wanted to talk about why it's actually really lonely at the top, and why most of you guys aren't ready to pay the bill. Let's talk about having financial freedom. It's the buzzword of our generation. You think that having money means you have more time. In reality, it's often the opposite. If you own a business that's making you $3,000, $10,000, or maybe even $50,000 a month, you don't own the business owns you. When you're broke, you have time but no money. When you're successful, you have money but your time becomes the most expensive thing in the world. Every hour you spend chilling with your family or friends is an hour where 1,000 things could go wrong. You have employees to pay, you have taxes to manage, you have competitors who are trying to eat your lunch while you sleep. The peace that you thought you were buying, it turns into responsibility. You find yourself sitting in a fancy dinner with your parents or your girl, and your phone starts buzzing in your pocket because a server went down or a deal fell through. You're physically there, but your mind is 10 miles away in your business. You trade the carefree life of a teenager for the heavy life of a provider. People start looking at you like an ATM or a savior, not a person. You wanted the money so you could be free, but you ended up building a golden cage. And the weirdest part, you still choose the cage every single time. Because you can't go back to being average. But don't let anyone tell you that it's easy. Look at the numbers, because the math of success is brutal. If you go to any high school hallway and ask 100 guys if they want to be rich, 99 of them will say yes. They'll tell you that they're going to start a brand, they're going to start day trading, they're going to become the next big creator. But watch what happens next. Out of those 100, maybe 25 will actually open up a laptop and try something. They'll buy a domain or post one video or look at a chart. But out of those 25, 24 of them will quit the first day they hit a wall. The first time they lose $100 or the first time a video gets 12 views, they'll say, this is a scam, or the algorithm is against me. That leaves only one person who keeps going. That 1% filter is why it's lonely at the top. It's not because the people at the top are mean or elitists. It's because nobody else stayed in the race. When you reach a certain level of success, you look around and you realize that all the people you started with are gone. They stayed at the starting line. They went back to their mom's basement lifestyle because it was comfortable. And this creates a gap that you can't bridge. You want to talk about scaling, investing, and the future. They want to talk about the same drama in their neighborhood, the same video games, and the same excuses that they've been making for 3 years. You didn't leave them behind because you're a jerk. You left them behind because you kept walking while they sat down. Now here's the part that actually hurts. It's the part that makes you want to quit. We all have one childhood best friend, the guy you grew up with. You shared snacks, you played games, you talked about how you were both gonna make it. You promised each other that when one gets rich, the other gets rich too. But life doesn't work that way. As you start to win, a weird transition starts to grow. You try to help him, you offer him a job, or you try to teach him the skill, but you realize he doesn't have the hunger. He wants the results, but he doesn't want the progress. He wants the progress, but he wants to keep his 8 hours of sleep and his 9 hours of gaming. Eventually, you stop talking as much. Not because you're too good for him, but because you literally have nothing to talk about anymore. You tell him about a $5,000 loss you took, and he can't relate because he's never even had $5,000 in his account. He tells you about a sick play he made in a game, and you can't relate because you're focused on the real world. Then the jealousy starts. He starts making little comments. You've changed, bro. Oh man, you're kind of becoming a jerk. He's not saying that you're a jerk. He's saying that your success is a mirror that shows him his own failure. Every time he sees you winning, it reminds him of all the times he chose to stay in bed. It's easier for him to call you a jerk than it is for him to admit he's lazy. So you lose him. You lose the person you knew before the money, and that's a hole in your life that no amount of profit can fill. There's also this weird phenomenon that happens when you become the most successful person in your circle. You lose the right to be a human. If a normal person is tired or grumpy, they're just having a bad day. If a successful person is in a bad mood or just tired, they're arrogant and they think that they're better than everyone. If a normal person doesn't text back for 3 days, they're just busy. But if a successful person doesn't text back, they're forgetting where they came from. People start to view your success as a character flaw. They assume that because you have money, you no longer have problems. They assume you don't get lonely or stressed or depressed. They stop asking, "How are you?" and they start asking, "Can you help me with this?" You become a group A person in a group B world. You're separated by an invisible wall. You'll find yourself at family gatherings or parties feeling like an alien. You see everyone else complaining about things they could fix if they just worked, but you have to keep your mouth shut because if you give them advice, you're preaching. If you stay quiet, you're stuck up. You realize that the price of winning is being misunderstood by 99% of the people you meet. I want you to imagine that you're standing at the peak of a mountain. It took you years to climb. Your hands are bleeding, your legs are shaking, you've lost your breath 1,000 times, but you finally made it. You're standing at the very top. The view is incredible. You can see the whole world. You can see the clouds beneath your feet. You've done what 99% of people said was impossible. You are a winner. But then you turn around and you realize you're the only person there. The friends you started the climb with, they quit at the first base camp because it was too cold. Your best friend, he decided the view from the bottom was good enough. The people who cheered for you at the start, they're down in the valley, talking about how the only reason you made it to the top was luck. It's quiet, it's windy, and it's incredibly lonely. This is the reality of the game. If you want to be a part of the 1%, you have to be okay with the fact that 99% of people won't be able to follow you. You have to be okay with being the jerk in someone else's story just because you decided to win. You have to be okay with the fact that the more you achieve, the less people will actually know the real you. So I have to ask you, is it worth it? For most people, the answer is no. They'd rather have friends, the comfort, and the normal life. And there's no shame in that. But if you're the type of person who can't sleep because the visions in your head are too loud, if you're the type of person who would rather be lonely at the top of the mountain than popular at the bottom, then keep climbing. Just don't act surprised when you reach the peak and realize that the only person waiting there for you is you. Go put your phone down. Go pay the price. I'll see you at the top, guys.